Hey there, it's Roslyn here, and thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to be doing some Copic coloring of these awesome images from the Not Too Shabby shop. This video coordinates with another video I have on my channel, which is a giveaway hop, so be sure to check that out. I will leave the link in the description box below. So I'm starting off here with the largest pumpkin image from the Happy Fall set. And I'm bringing in my darkest color, which is E09, and I'm bringing that to the bottom of the pumpkin and sort of lining up those seams just about halfway up the pumpkin. And then I'm coming in with YR09 and blending that out. So I loved coloring these images. They were so much fun. I'm really getting into the fall spirit. Here I come in with YR07 and I'm going to blend all of those colors up once again, and we're almost at the halfway point of our pumpkin. But before we get there, I'm going to go on the top of the pumpkin here and add some YR09, which is my second darkest color, and I'm going to blend that out with the YR07. And I'm taking YR16 and blending both of those sections up a little bit more each time. And with my last color here, I'm blending out with the YR14. So I'm really taking my time to try to get this pumpkin looking a little bit more three-dimensional. I'm going to go over this with all of the markers that I've used and darken up where some of the color has desaturated with my blending. So I'm continuing with the same colors here. Anyhow, so I think I better start doing some more fall cards. It is getting to become the season, and this card and this coloring kick that off for me. So hopefully I'll get some more videos on my channel featuring some fall products. So like I said, be sure to go over to the other video where I'm creating a scene card using pattern paper. It's a slim line, actually, very, very popular. And here on the pumpkin, I'm taking that darkest E09 color and putting it ever so slightly on sort of the inside part where the pumpkin goes down to try to give it a little bit of depth there. And then for the stem, I used BG93 and G99 to shade that out. And as you can see, I really like how that turned out. And in my other video, I was calling this guy a blackbird, but seriously, Roslyn, it's a crow. That's why there's a scarecrow in the set. So for this scarecrow, I am using some warm grays in W7 and W5, starting closer to the beak and blending that up towards the top of his head. And I'm going to take the same two W markers for his body and his wings. And the first 5 images that I'm coloring here, the pumpkin, the crow, the large maple leaves, the large acorn, and the scarecrow, are all from the set called Happy Fall. And they're nice large images to color. They're not too complicated. They're a lot of fun. You don't have to use 16 colors for a pumpkin like I did. You can have fun coloring them up any way you wish with whatever medium that you like to use. So for his beak, I took my lightest color, which is YR14, and came in with my YR16 to darken that up, and YR07 to darken the edges even further to sort of make that beak look a little more three-dimensional. As you can see, I'm just creating that V along the outer edge of his beak with the darker marker, and then just blending that in with my lightest. So here for the maple leaf, I decided that I wanted to try to blend a whole bunch of different colors, because when you look at a maple leaf in real life, they can be multiple colors at a time. They can be green, red, orange, yellow, all of it at the same time. So I started off here with the YG25 and the YR14 colors for the middle of the leaf. And then I came out with my YR07 on the edges and decided that that needed to be a little bit more red. So I came out with the R05. And I'm going to blend that all into the center of the leaf here. Taking my lighter orange back over, and then I'm going to be adding a little bit more green to darken up those green veins per se in the maple leaf. And I'm actually only going to color one maple leaf here. The others I use some different colors to make it a little bit more interesting, some more yellows and oranges. And I'm going back and forth with my colors until I am satisfied with how it looks. So sometimes you just gotta think of your stamps a little bit. Not exactly what they're showing you, but just add your own twist to it. So on to the acorn. I'm starting with my favorite E marker, which is the E13. I don't know why it's my favorite. I just love it. And then we're coming in to give it a shadow with the E99 marker. And I like that combination actually. It's the first time I tried that one. And here for the top of the acorn, I started out with E35. Now if you look at a real acorn, there's a whole bunch of different shades of browns. The top can be lighter than the bottom could be lighter than the top. So I just had fun with combining the different browns. So to darken up the top part, I came in with the E57 and blended that all out with the E33. And moving on to my scarecrow, I took B93 from my Copics and colored all that to lay down my color. And I took a Spectrum Noir marker in TB8 because I don't have very many B markers. Did I say E before? Anyway, I don't have many B markers, sort of that cornflower blue. So I looked in my Spectrum Noir stash and came up with a good combo. And here I'm doing a tip technique because I didn't have a third marker that would blend out. And these markers were a bit far apart for blending. So easy enough, I just take the lightest marker and touch the tip to the darker marker and it picks up some of that color and you're able to blend a little bit easier. So for the pants, I'm coming in with E09 again and YR09 and YR07 to blend that all out. And that just brings in the color of the pumpkins into another of the images so that they coordinate. And for the patches, I just brought in that B93. And for the straw sticking out of the legs, it is YR27. The legs and the arms, I should say. And for the hands, YR31 and Y35. I know this is a lot of colors. I just got into a bit of a meditative state and was choosing all these colors as I went. And I guess I went a little overboard. You do not need this many colors for sure. I just get so mesmerized by coloring. So I'm just going to add here the YR24 to the hands to darken that up. And moving on to the hat, I'm bringing in that same E09 marker at the closest part to the scarecrow's head, because that will be where the darkest shadows would be. Blending that out with E08. And for the lightest color, we're just going to do something new here and use YR02. It's a really nice peachy light orange. So I thought I'd just bring that in for the heck of it. So yeah, I really enjoyed coloring these images. They're so much fun. And as you can see, the two different sets are by different artists. But if you go to my next video with the scene building, you will see how I combined both of these sets, and they work really, really well together, even though they are a little bit different thickness and a little different artist. That's okay. You just make it work, right? So for the little birdie, I used YR24, Y35, and YR31, and on his beak, YR27. He's such a cutie up there. And then for the straw hair coming out, I used YR24 and Y35. For his little cute face, I used Y35, and then came in, Y35 came in with my YR31 to blend that out, and YR02 for his cheeks, and another Y27 for the stem, and the grass was YG17. So now we're on to these little cuties in the pumpkin patch. I'm bringing in those same blue markers that I used on the scarecrow to keep it cohesive here. And I'm doing the tip to tip technique again on his jeans so that the lines aren't as harsh. I just love this little stamp. It actually reminds me of my kids, so I sort of colored them in like my kids today, even though my son refuses to wear jeans. He's all about the jogging pants. I don't know when that's going to change. We'll see. It'll be his problem when he gets older and he's just wearing jogging pants. I don't think that's a great idea. But anyway, back to the coloring. His boots are the warm grays again, the Y7 and the Y05. And for his sweater, I used YG25 and YG17. I thought that would be nice, bring in that green color again. And for her little leggings, I brought in a Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend marker, and that is in the purple blends, the PL4, 3, and 2. And those are a lot of fun to color with too. I only have a few of those, but they are really excellent for smaller images. For her boots, I came in with E35 and E57. And also at the top, I used E33. For her shirt, I decided I didn't want to come in with another color, so I just coordinated this with the other grays in the coloring that I've done, which is W7 and W5. And for her skin, I used E13 just to line her face there, and E11 a little bit blending out, and E21 for the last color. And these images are quite small. You do not need more than a 2 color blend. I just get in the habit of my 3 favorite colors for skin sometimes, and I just make it work. And then for the boy's skin, I used E21 and E50. My son is much fairer than my daughter in skin tone. My daughter's much more golden undertone, and he's quite fair. And for his hair, I started with E35, and I just brought that to his part and started working my way up from the bottom of his hair, flicking upwards and flicking across. And my second color is E53. I find that's a nice blondish hair color. And to darken that up even further, I used E37. And I'm not worried about making this too realistic looking, just giving it a little bit of interest. And you know, it's good practice to try out coloring hair, and if you don't like it, just keep coloring over it, and you can fix any flicks that you make. And then I'm just darkening up his skin once again, make it a little more even, and then I will move on to the little girl's hair. So to start, I used YR31, which is a surprisingly nice color for blonde hair. And then I came in with the E51 as my lightest color. And for my darkest color, I used YR23. And I really like that combination. I hadn't tried that one yet, so it was a lot of fun. And oh, we got an oopsie coming here. This YR23 marker was, I don't know, it was giving me problems. It had too much pressure in it, so it was coming out way too fast and it made a blob in her hair. But I did fix that by taking off both lids, and that evens out the pressure of the marker. So if you ever have that problem, or you have a marker that is giving you troubles, just take off both lids and that should help the problem. And I just used my colorless blender to sort of push that little boo-boo back in where it belonged, giving her a little pink and purple butterfly and purple hair ties. And I did color these pumpkins the identical way that I colored the larger pumpkins, with the same colors and the same concept of bringing up the colors to the middle and then sort of bringing down the colors from the top to get them to blend. And I sort of kept the darkest color towards his leg because it would sort of cast a shadow there. So that's what I did there. And same with this pumpkin that the little girl's sitting on. It will be darker where her legs are. It won't have as much light hitting it. So I'm going to continue on coloring up these little pumpkins. So what's your favorite thing about fall? I love the changing colors. I love the falling leaves. I don't like cleaning up the leaves, but I've managed to rope my kids into helping me clean them up. I have these bear claw things from a place called Lee Valley, and they're only about $10, and they're these big, huge plastic bear claws that you can, after you've raked the leaves, you can put these on your hands and pick up a whole bunch of leaves and put them in the brown bag. So I had to get 2 sets because they each wanted to do it, and I couldn't stand the complaining. So, you know, it's chores. Got to make it easy. So I bought 2. So the other pumpkins I had just colored up the same, and I'm adding a little bit of green here to the leaves with the same YG13 and the YG25. And we're almost done. We're on to the corn stalks. And I'm starting with, let's see here, YR27, and then blending to YR24, and then to YR23, because, you know, teeny tiny images need lots of markers, don't they? No, they don't, Rosalind. You got to calm down with the blending. Anyway, for the leaves of this corn bunch. Anyway, I used a whole bunch of different colors. I don't know where I was going with this, but I used G99 to start, then YG17, then, you know, who knows, we'll just throw in some YG03 in there and keep going with a whole bunch of other colors. So, you know, like BG93 and YG25 and YG23. Oh wait, the YG23 is coming in right now. And for the bow, I brought in that blue again to help coordinate and to bring all the images together. So for this little baby acorn, I started off with E33 and went to E99 again, and the top just got a nice wash of E35. So nothing too complicated there. For these little leaves, super easy to color. I used the YR09 for the center of this leaf and brought in the Y35. And then for the second leaf here, I colored in with Y35 for the entire thing and then brought in the YR16 just to give it a couple different colors, of course. And that's about it. So that was a lot of fun. Thanks. So here we have all the images colored up. You can see that I have a couple extra pumpkins colored and a couple extra of those large maple leaves in the varying colors. And I've colored a few more of those small leaves and acorns and another bunch of corn. So you can see how I coordinated all the colors of these images, and believe it or not, I was able to get all of these images on a slimline card using patterned paper to build my scene. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, give me a like, give me a comment, and I hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.